I'm 7 News meteorologist Steve Rudin. Want to give you an update on big weather makers that are on the way for the upcoming weekend. We have cold temperatures yet again, and these cold temperatures stretch all the way from New York State down along the East Coast, all the way down to South Florida, where temperatures by Saturday morning may only be in the 20s and 30s. Over in Orlando, we have freeze warnings over toward New Orleans as we head through the day tomorrow and then into tomorrow night. But the next big story that you're going to hear a lot about, you probably already have, is the big coastal storm that is going to take shape off the North Carolina and South Carolina borders. Here's the latest for you on the winter storm warnings. You don't see this very often, but winter storm warnings for the entire state of North Carolina, all the way from the Outer Banks to Charlotte. Most of South Carolina also under winter storm warnings, and this is where they're looking at the potential for many inches of snow over the next 24 to 48 hours. Also, that winter storm warning for extreme southern Virginia does include Norfolk and then the extreme southern tip of Delmarva, and this is for the day on Saturday. Even Ocean City, Maryland, they have a winter storm watch that may very well convert over to a winter storm warning or a winter weather advisory. Any way you look at it, it's going to be cold. The waves are going to come crashing ashore. A lot of beach erosion with the storm as it lifts on off toward the north and east. And at some point this weekend, as it lifts into the warmer waters of the Atlantic, we're going to see winds upwards of 70, 75 miles per hour, close to, if not exceeding, hurricane strength. Notice how the D.C. metro area has no winter alerts to worry about. That is the good news for this weekend. No additional snow over the snowcrete that we have across the region right now. Here's our futurecast. This is a higher resolution, and this starts at 7 o'clock Saturday morning. Notice how we're dry for the D.C. metro area, but the first pulse of energy or snow over across North Georgia, Atlanta, into South Carolina and North Carolina. That energy gets transferred off the coastline, and that storm begins to bomb out. Midday Saturday, looking at the intensification of that area of low pressure, and then the heavy snow 7 o'clock Saturday morning for eastern North Carolina, a good chunk of South Carolina, but the D.C. metro stays dry. Perhaps a few snowflakes across southern Maryland, and a better chance perhaps just scraping the coastline before all this finally lifts on out of here quickly during the day on Sunday. Now, in its wake, we're going to see a really tight pressure gradient, and that means that we're going to see our winds across the mid-Atlantic begin to increase during the day on Saturday, more so on Sunday, where we could see wind gusts close to 40 miles per hour. But notice how this lifts on off toward the north and east. Boston and New York, you're going to get off relatively easy. The same for Philadelphia and for D.C., with little, if any, snowfall expected. Now let's check out the forecast snow totals. And even though these don't look really high, they are very high considering the part of the country they'll be in. Charlotte, anywhere between 5 to 8 inches of snow. That's why they have that winter storm warning. But where you see the shades of purple, that could be 9 inches, upwards of a foot of snow, getting closer to the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Now, Norfolk, according to this model here, could see anywhere between 6 to 8 inches of snow, but there's the hash mark for D.C., so not a whole lot. Forecast trends for snow for the D.C. metro area, nothing at all as we move through the upcoming weekend. But notice what happens on our 9-day snow total. By late Wednesday into Thursday, could be looking at yet another round of snowy weather for at least parts of the mid-Atlantic. Models are a little bit consistent, but not totally there yet. 2 to 3 inches possible for the district in Arlington and Alexandria moving into Wednesday and early Thursday morning. Here's another look at a different model. The European model does pretty good when it comes to the snowfall, and you can see that area of low pressure, that coastal storm bombing off the coastline and then rapidly lifting on off toward the north and east. We're going to fast forward as we move into the day on Tuesday, and then by Wednesday looking at that chance for some snow. Here's Sunday, 10 o'clock. The European model shows upwards of 9 inches for Charlotte, North Carolina, perhaps 3 or 4 inches for Norfolk, a little bit higher for the higher resolution model. And then moving into Wednesday, look what happens. We're adding some snow to the mid-Atlantic. 2 to 3 inches, as mentioned, as of right now, looks like a chance. We're going to put it at about a 20 to 30% chance right now. And this right here is the European model, where we're showing those snow chances that are there, but it all depends on your location, and we'll continue to watch this over the coming days. Check out the cold surge that continues to impact a good chunk of the eastern half of the United States. It's going to moderate a little bit as we head into early next week, and that means temperatures finally above freezing, and that's going to allow a lot of melting to occur. Check out the wind gusts moving through the day on Saturday, 4 p.m., around 20 miles per hour downtown D.C., and then those winds will rapidly intensify as we move into Saturday night, and then by Sunday morning, could be looking at wind gusts for the metro area upwards of 40 to 45 miles per hour, even stronger as you head down to Norfolk and the Outer Banks, where some of those wind gusts may be upwards of 50 to 60 miles per hour. All this lifts on out of here very late on Sunday, and then our winds will begin to change direction, and that's going to signal improving weather across the DMV. Let's talk about those future feels like temperatures. Cold during the day on Saturday with those winds beginning to increase, and then moving into Sunday midday. At this point, we'll see those wind gusts 35, 40, 45 miles per hour with feels like temperatures at or below zero, and we'll likely see another round of cold weather advisories for at least parts of the upcoming weekend. Wind chill forecast. This is for the D.C. metro area. We're talking inside and close to the Capitol Beltway. Feels like temperatures on Saturday around 9 degrees, very cold moving through the first part of the day on Sunday. And if you want to call 13 an improvement, I guess we'll take every degree we can get. Highs for the month of January. We had warmer temperatures earlier in the month, in the middle of the month. And since last Saturday, we have been below freezing. We'll make it out of the deep freeze finally in time for February, but we'll fill the day in for Friday and then into Saturday with another below average day temperature-wise. In terms of those temperatures, it has been very cold around here. We almost made it to freezing Tuesday of this week earlier, but now we'll keep those temperatures that are going to be on the cold side as we head through the weekend. And then look at that. By Monday, temperatures could be in the middle 30s, and that means a bit of melting. Here's the cold weather advisory. It is for tonight into very early Saturday morning, and likely see another one as we head into the day on Sunday. Our next temperature trend for you, or I should say I'll show you our temperature trend. There's that warm up Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday with highs well into the 30s. There's some snowflakes on Wednesday, and I'll take you out with a look at our 10-day temperature trend. We have another cool down that's on the way once we have this brief thaw. By next weekend, daytime highs will only be in the 20s. As always, we will keep you updated here on YouTube, WJLA.com, and 7 News. I'm 7 News meteorologist Steve Rudin. Have a good weekend.